Hi, everybody. It's the Me and My Boyfriend Nicole podcast. I'm Aurora.
And I'm awake this time, and this is Nicole.
Oh, I'm glad you're up and alert.
I am, but we're in your bed, so who knows how long it's going to last.
I gave this bitch some tea. We'll see what happens.
Right? Ooh, tension tamer.
Is your tension tamed?
We have no tension whatsoever.
That's right, because we're together.
Right? But once we start talking about this, we'll see.
Oh, yeah. So, what are we talking about today, Nicole?
Well, apparently I've been allowed out of the box, and it can be about me again.
Oh, Lord. Are we still on this bullshit?
Whatever. You said you wanted to talk about dun 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 my dating life.
Let me tell you, while it has been about me these past few weeks, Nicole has been having some doozies.
Right? Sit back and enjoy a tale, and let me make you feel so much better about you and your dating life.
Yeah, honestly,
100%.
I think about myself, and then I'm like, oh, it's not that bad.
Compared to mine?
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You ain't wrong. And F you.
Just kidding with you. I don't think that. But
You do think that. I would think that.
because at the end of the day,
It has been so you can't even make this shit up.
No, you can't.
Crazy. Oh my God. Oh
So
my
what should we
God.
talk about first?
Well, I think that first we should address the thing that I didn't talk about in the last episode.
Oh, you falling asleep and how that's a trend for you?
Yes, that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that. So there I was.
Minding your own sweet business.
Right. I have been talking to someone for like a week or two, you know?
Yeah, I think you at that point.
Yeah.
No, I think it was only like a week.
Maybe it was only a week. Yeah, and he was jokingly, but let's say not joking, but jokingly, very hypersexual when he talked to me. Mm-hmm. Which usually, right off the bat, is a no for me, mm-hmm. right? But it was funny, the way that he was saying stuff and everything, and it would be very much of normal conversation, mm-hmm. and then all of a sudden, kind of like a dick joke, mm-hmm. kind of thing. And talking about stuff. I say this to set up for what happened.
Wait. Talk about the moment where he sent you a picture of...
I was thinking about talking that, and then I wasn't going to, so we can just talk about it, okay?
Oh, well, my bad.
Because of the situations that I'm going to describe in a little while. You just stay tuned. Oh, my God. Okay. FaceTime has become a thing for me now.
After... Yes.
Yes. I will explain. But right now, FaceTime is a real thing. Okay, I don't care if you live in Clarks Vegas. We don't waste no time.
Nope.
We don't want to, not that we get hooked anyway. I mean, we have hearts and feelings, but I'm just saying, like right away, let's know if you're real, right? Mm-hmm. And so, we had talked on the phone a couple of times, mm-hmm. right? I digress even further. Okay, see what had happened was we met on Facebook dating. Okay?
Okay, let's get it all straight.
And me and Aurora are lazy daters sometimes. And so we go back to Facebook all the time because Facebook has the free who's liked you.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're like, I got a few minutes, in between clients or...
Clients?
Well, you at work.
Oh.
Lord Jesus. Okay. Or you took that to a whole different place. Or, I'm really tired, but I want to be flirty, or mm-hmm. I need to pick me up. Let's see who liked me. Like mm-hmm. whatever your mood is, whatever mm-hmm. you're at, whatever. You can just go right into Facebook dating and just go straight to who liked you and just be like, yes, no, yes, yes, no, 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 yes, whatever, right?
Yes.
So he had liked me there. He would normally not have been a yes for me because he had no pictures of his face. The one picture he had of his face, it was like his face was down and his hands were mm-hmm. covering his face. But it was very artistic.
Right.
And it was a black and white picture, too, and it was very intriguing. And
mm-hmm.
I really liked that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he had a couple of shots of him, clearly at the gym, whatever, mm-hmm. but it was just, not even a six-pack. It was, the eight-pack, and then, the gym shorts, and, pulled down a little.
The V?
Yeah, and normally that would still be a no for me because I'm not trying to go sexual, okay? Right. But it was some of the things that he had written, mm-hmm. There's this other side to him.
There was substance with the sex. Yes.
And he was closer to my age.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I was like, oh, mm-hmm. you're 40 and you're
Hot.
and you're hot. Not just that you're hot. I mean, hot in 40s, that's not a rare thing. But that you're still so kind of just like flirtatious. But then there was like this mystery behind it, right?
Right.
2 things stood out to me about not showing your face, right? And then the sexual thing, like, oh, are you married?
Yeah.
Are you in a relationship? What?
My immediate thoughts always.
Right? And so it would have been a no for me. However, I was like, fuck it, let's see. I'm just intrigued, right? Okay, so that's how we first started talking. And then we were talking on the dating app, and he asked for my number, and I had given it to him. And then I was like, you're not going to get weird, are you, like, once I give you your number? Because that happens a lot of times. Then you start getting dick pics and shit. And I'm like, that's not cool. And he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. So then we started chatting and stuff, and he had like called me when he was working and stuff. And we were talking, and it was really fun and stuff. But I always kind of went back to like a little sexual thing. But it was very different than what I was used to, right? Which I feel like that he's older. He's a little bit probably better at the not manipulation, but the flirtation.
It softens the blow.
So like kind of back and forth.
He knows how to play the game.
Right? Well, I can't remember exactly what he said, but it just got to the point where it was just all sexual. And we haven't even met at this point, right?
Right.
And so I was like, you know what? This is a no for me. And I just was like, I've told you already, I, like want to know someone first, like stop. And we only been talking for a few days, so I blocked him.
Right.
Right? I was like, no, this isn't the energy we want. Right? Well, then he kept hitting me up on the Facebook thing because I hadn't blocked him on there. I just didn't even think about it. I hadn't been on there. And he's like, if it was the way I was talking to you, you could have told me. Like, I told you, you could tell me anything. Just that kind of thing. And I was like, so I responded to him on there, and he apologized and stuff. And he's like, I'll never mention it again. Oh, it's because he kept asking for sexy pictures of me. That's what it was. So I was like, I'll never ask you for that again, which he didn't, right? And I'm like, okay. So then I started talking to him on the phone again, right? So then I had told him about why I like to FaceTime. And so he FaceTimed me, right? And it was, of course, it's always like right if you get to work or you...
So you're just looking...
Right? And I was like, fuck it, I don't care. I want to see, right? Like, let me see who you are. I don't care, And so I talked to him. Well, FaceTime comes up. And it's like, okay... So I've been talking to my son, Christian, and he FaceTimes me, and I shit you not, 2 or 3 times, like, it's got disconnected, and I called him back, and it goes to completely different people. One time, it was in the car, like, somebody was in a car, and it was a couple, and I had just been on the phone with him, and I called him back, and it was this couple, and they're like, who are you? Who is this? And I'm like,
God, that's so scary.
Where's Christian? And they're like, who's Christian? And I'm like hanging up, and I'm texting Christian, and Christian FaceTimes me back, and he's like, what are you talking about? I swear to you, like, this other couple came up. And,
that's crazy.
Right? And so, then today it happened again.
Did it really?
Yes. I had went out of the room to take something to the kitchen or whatever, and went back to my room, and I missed a FaceTime call with Christian. And so I just hit it back, right? And this guy answers, and he was like, who is this? Who the fuck is this? And just hangs up. And I'm like, oh, shit. So I text Christian, tell him what happened. He calls back, and he's in some warehouse store. And he's like, I just saw this mirror, and I thought you'd really like it. Like, look. And I'm like, who is that dude? And he's like, what are you talking? There's no dude. And I was like, I swear to you, there was just somebody on there. So I say that because it's kind of happened to me before, right? And so he called me, and it looked like a dick pic or a porn, whatever, at first, and then all of a sudden it was his face. And I was like, that was like, is it now breaking into calls that I have? Like, what is going on with my phone or or my connection or whatever, right? And so I was like, dude, that was so trippy. I swear to God, when you first answered the phone, it looked like a dick pic or something, whatever. And he goes, oh, like this? And he flips the phone, and his pants are undone. He's driving. His pants are undone. And his dick's out, whatever. And then he flips it back, and he's rolling hysterically. And I was like, is this what you think is better? And he's like, well, it was only semi-hard. It's not like it was hard. Like, I just thought it'd be funny. I started rolling, laughing, and couldn't stop rolling because I was like, this is the most unsexy thing I've ever seen. Like, Not that his manhood anyway was unsexy, but it's just hysterical. I'm exhausted,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I'm just trying to make sure you're who you are, but you're obviously showing that you're also a man. So,
Were you worried?
yeah, no, but it was just hysterical because of the situation I'm going to tell you about in a little while. That's a totally different situation. Yeah, so, yeah, but that's not what I was going to tell you about. That was just part of it. You brought that up. So, so we have been talking, whatever, right? And we were talking on the phone, and it was late at night, and which for me could have been 7 or 8 o'clock, to be honest with you. Just because I work like 60 hours a week. But anyway, so we're talking, and I have gotten very comfortable in bed, right? And he was like, are you going to rub one out to me tonight? Are you going to rub one out? I was like, I might rub one out because it definitely helps me go to sleep faster, but you're assuming a lot thinking it's going to be about you, you know? And he's like, what? And he's like, let me help you out, blah, blah. And I'm like, you're stupid. Like, we haven't even met. Like, we're just talking. I'm like, we're just like friends, dude. Like, you know, which is weird because he allegedly lives in Clarksville, but, you know, is always busy. I'm like, anyway, that's a long story. So, nice guy though, but
Okay.
So we'll just call him what, sex phone operator? What are we gonna...
I don't know. We should call maybe sex phone operator.
But
SPO.
SPO. But so we're talking and stuff, and I'm like falling asleep, right? And
per usual,
right? And I didn't even remember like anything. I really didn't even remember talking. When I woke up the next morning, the phone was in the bed, you know, and I was just like, God, what happened? Like wiping the drool off, like, oh God. And I didn't think anything about it. Like I totally had forgot that I had talked to him, right? And then I like go to look at my phone because I'm like going to text you good morning because we have our coffee together every morning, right?
Yes.
And there's all these messages from him, right? And he was like, you owe me so big time. And I was like, oh, you what? Like, what? And then I was like, oh, we talked on the phone last night. And it didn't hit me that I fell asleep on the phone, right? And so I texted him back, and I was like, oh, you what? And he was like, bitch, you don't remember? I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
He called you bitch?
Yeah. And because I call him that too. And he's like, he calls me immediately, right?
Oh,
and he's
shit.
at work. And he calls me immediately, and he was like, do you not remember being on the phone with me last night? And I'm like, no, did we talk? And he was like, I'm so happy that I'm that insignificant. I was like, well. And I'm like, what happened? He's like, don't you remember about how you said you might rub one out, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I'd help you. And I was like, well, that's like every night for me. Like, I don't know what. He's like, dude, do you realize today it hit me? It's been 8 months.
Since
I had sex.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We've been in an 8-month dry spell. We could have sex. We could have sex every night with someone different if we wanted, but we're looking for real. So, it's been 8 months. Anyway, so I'm like, so we get a lot of self-love.
Frickus has joined the chat.
I know, right? Frickus
Yeah,
is
that's
going
right.
crazy.
Go ahead
Love
and
me.
grab your pussy.
So, anywho, yes, I digress. So, he tells me, he was like, yeah, so I was trying to help you out last night. And I was like, help me out? And he was like, yeah, like, oh my God, I just realized it wasn't at night.
When was it?
It was in the morning.
No!
Because I had worked night shift.
Oh.
And that's what it was.
Okay.
The reason I realized it was in the morning because he was at work when he was talking to me. That's what it was. Okay. So it wasn't even nighttime. It was like maybe 6 or 7. Maybe no, like 7 or 8 in the morning. And I was going to sleep because I had gotten home around 5 or 6 from work, closed or whatever. Anyway, so I had fallen asleep, right? And he was telling me, he's like, he's at work, right? And he's trying to help me out. And so he's saying that I was talking all sweet to you and like, yeah, baby, come on, like, give it to me. And he's like, and you know, like we've never been intimate or anything, you know? So he's like, so I don't know what your noises are. Like, I don't know if you get quiet when you get excited. He's like, I don't know if you're shy or what, but you got really quiet. And he's like, and so he's like, I'm telling you like stories and like what I'm going to do and stuff. And he's like, well, I'm at work and then like having to like walk away because I don't want nobody here and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, 20 minutes. For 20 minutes, I try to help you come. And he was like, and I'm thinking, oh God, it must be really hard to get her, going. And so he's like, I have to work really hard for this, right? And he's like, come on, baby, you can do it. And he's like, I'm just trying. I'm telling you. He's like, Daddy likes this and that. And he's like, maybe she didn't like the daddy thing. Okay, well, how do you want it? Blah blah. And he's like, and then I hear like grunts in between. He was like, oh, she's like really getting into it and stuff, right? And he was like, 20 fucking minutes. I'm trying to help you. And he's like, how's her arm still going? Like, what's going on? I don't hear a vibrator. Like, what's happening? He goes, and then all of a sudden I hear it. He's like, is that bitch snore? And he's like, and then it just kept getting loud. Like, you just kept getting loud. And he was like, that bitch fell asleep. She's been sleeping this whole time. He's like, I'm yelling at you, wake the fuck up. And you're just like, he's like, 20 minutes at work. I've been trying to help you have an orgasm, and the whole fucking time you've been asleep. And I'm like, yeah. Did nobody ask for your help? A.
First of all, ain't nobody asked me.
B, you was assuming a lot. And C, trust and believe you can tell the difference, okay?
Yeah, I don't know how many women you've been with, sir, but if they sound like they're sleeping, maybe you're doing something wrong.
Right. I won't say that we haven't ever possibly had somebody enjoying our flower and fell asleep before.
Damn.
However, it was no reflection on them or me. It was the same situation where I was like working. That was when I was in the social work business and working like 100 hours a week and exhausted. And they was trying to give me some love, and it was feeling really good, but the bed was feeling even better. It's like maybe once, twice, I don't know, a couple times. But anyway, but I'm like, if you have any question about my sexual, prowess or whatever, right, or power, refer back to episode 8 with Jeff, and you will know.
6 times in one night.
Right? Exactly, boo. What's up?
What's up?
Fuck yeah. So, so that happened. That was me falling asleep on the phone and allegedly being told the best stories of my life, and I slept.
You missed out.
I missed out.
How do you feel that you missed out? Are you okay? Like, do you feel like...
I feel like I can handle it.
Yeah.
I feel like if it was meant to be, it would happen.
Yeah.
And guess what? We still haven't met him.
No?
No.
Still to this day.
No. So, yeah, that kind of died off. But, so, before that.
The reason why we FaceTime. I almost feel like that deserves its own episode.
Right?
Do we want it to have its own episode?
No, we can talk. Does it need to? No.
I mean, it's up to you. Do you feel like it deserves its own moment?
A moment in time? Well, it might.
I feel like it does.
Yeah, okay.
Because it happened...
Not once.
But twice.
Twice. Yes.
So I feel like...
that needs to be the next one.
I think that's next week.
And I think it needs a little time and attention to itself. And I feel like this is something that has happened to men and women.
Yes.
And you can relate. And if you can't, you've heard about it.
Yep.
It mind-blowing. You won't believe it. Like, it's insane.
There's shows about it.
Right? And we know people that it's happened to.
Yeah.
So anyway. So giving you a little cookie for next episode. And it would be my fortune cookie because it's all fucked up.
Yeah. Well, I really enjoyed this story. As you heard, I just could not stop laughing because I could just imagine him just being like, oh, yeah, baby, da-da-da-da-da-da. And then you just being like... Because your little sleepy noises, because I know what they sound like. And I'm like, how the fuck did you think that was her getting into it? Like, they're not even remotely sexy. Like, I don't even know, like, how many women have you been...
How sweet is that, though, that you're trying so hard?
No,
right?
honestly, like, that is such, like, a pro move, really.
Oh, my God, that was so sweet. Trying to talk me through it. And you don't know what I'm like in bed because we haven't done anything, met or whatever.
Yeah.
And so you're trying so hard to get me off and stuff, and I missed it all.
Which honestly is just so you.
It is. I was so tired.
You're so tired.
I'm so tired. I give all to everything when I'm awake. So when it's sleepy time, it's sleepy time.
It's sleepy time. And sometimes, shit, you fell asleep last week in the podcast. We were actively having a conversation.
Girl, I've been staying up at work before and be like, whoa, did I fall asleep?
How long have I been here? What year is it?
So enjoy your moments, even the ones where you're sleeping.
Yeah, make sure your partners are awake, y'all. Maybe do a check-in.
Right? A little coffee isn't a bad thing.
Yeah, you know.
Right?
Get it going.
Yeah. So, love you. Hope you enjoyed that story. More to come. Yeah?
Well, you didn't.
Yeah, no, I didn't. You're right.
Man, have you ever had someone fall asleep while you're trying to make them come before?
No, it's never happened to me where I was doing it.
Me neither.
Right? But, yeah. So, enjoy. Love you.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below.
Okay.
Have you ever fallen asleep during, before, after? Has your partner done it to you?
I feel like everybody has.
I've never fallen asleep during.
Well, aren't you special?
Eh. Anyway.
Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
I had to go because I was about to shit on